Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. Snatched is a 2017 comedy movie starring Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn, and it is directed by Jonathan Levine, who has brought us movies like The Night Before and Warm Bodies. And it tells the story of Amy Schumer's character, who is a bit of a um, self-obsessed girl who's terrible at a job, obsessed with social media, and has a holiday planned to Ecuador with her boyfriend. That is all she's really focused on until her boyfriend dumps her in hilarious fashion, really, at the beginning of the movie. So she's searching for someone else to go on this holiday with, and essentially the only person that she's got in her life that can go with her is her mum, and that's reluctantly at that, who's played by Goldie Hawn. So they end up going on this holiday to Ecuador. Goldie Hawn's really cautious. Amy Schumer's really naive, and she meets an English chap called James, I believe, who shows her a good time, and then offers to take her and her mum on a trip out into the wilderness, and they are then snatched, hence the title. And they've got to try and figure out how are they going to escape, how they're going to get out of this situation, and shenanigans begin. Now, in regards to this movie, even though I know of Amy Schumer, this is the first movie I've actually seen with her in it. I've been wanting to watch Trainwreck, I believe it's called, for a while. I've just never got around to it. But because I'm quite a big fan of Goldie Hawn, I grew up on her movies, Foul Play with Chevy Chase and Dudley Moore, and Private Benjamin and Overboard. She's a great comedy actress, and she's got great comedy timing. So to see this upcoming star, Amy Schumer, on screen with Goldie Hawn of the golden age of comedy, it's something that really, really interests me, and I thought the trailer looked hilarious. And after watching it, I have to say I was really quite impressed with this film as a comedy. It really, really made me chuckle and laugh throughout this movie. I liked the humour, even though it is. I have a little bit of an issue these days with comedies that have this obsession with toilet humour. This has a little bit of it, but it never goes full on. There are a couple of scenes that I think cross the line a little bit in regards to the toilet humour area, but for the most part, it's just funny, and it's like adult funny. Um, I would say at least 80% for me of the gags hit, maybe laugh. 20% of it, bit cringy, and it just some of the comedy just missed the mark. But for the most part, it worked. I think it does have its limitations. This movie, some of the dialogue's a little bit poor. The pacing's a little bit off. It's kind of sold as like an action comedy, this, but it really isn't. It's just a comedy. There's nothing really to speak of action wise. But the scenario that they're in is very, very funny. But it does have some issues. For me, the two that stand out for me that really missed the mark is there is a sequence where they bump into this American guy in Colombia, actually, where they get taken to, who they hope is going to be their knight in shining armor, but it turns out that he's worse than useless. And to me, it felt didn't really need to be there. It just felt a bit off, and it wasn't particularly funny. And there was another scene in regards to a tapeworm, and if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I mean. That started off promising, but it went down the route of kind of toilet humour, and I just didn't find it funny. But other than that, I have to say I was really, really impressed with this movie. I liked the humour. I thought the majority of the gags was funny. It was great to see Goldie Hawn back on screen. I thought she was fab in this movie. Her comedy timing hasn't missed a beat. some of the things she comes out with, probably some of the best one-liners, some parts in the movie, definitely. But her and Amy Schumer's chemistry was fabulous to see. Both very talented, and both fed off each other's talents really, really well. Um, the poster kind of made me smile a bit because Goldie Hawn, bless her, she's adorable and she's a very, very beautiful woman, especially when she was younger. But I mean, look at that poster. I mean, she looks younger than Amy Schumer. It's properly airbrushed, but it's Goldie Hawn. She's a princess in Hollywood. They can do what they want. Great to see her back on screen. She hasn't missed a beat. Let's see her back on screen again soon because she's still got it. Decent movie this. It's not perfect. It does have some missteps in regards to the humour. The story is a little bit oddly paced at times. But for my first Amy Schumer movie, I'm on board. I like her. I like her style of comedy, and I will be searching out more of her movies to check up uh, what her other material is like. So yeah, I recommend this movie.